Hi everybody, my name is Natalia Gomez and my presentation is on salmonella in pistachio nuts. So some background information is that the FDA alerted the CDC in March of 2009 that multiple samples of pistachios and pistachio containing products from the Seton Pistachio Company of California were contaminated with salmonella, and some of the salmonella serotypes were Montevideo, Newport, and Seftenberg. FDA utilized PulseNet, which is a CDC database that contained bacterial DNA fingerprints from patients to compare and match DNA fingerprints from salmonella strains found associated with the pistachio company. So, some of the assumptions of this database or fingerprint match is that it automatically means it's a salmonella infection, um, or it's directly related to pistachios. But really, a fingerprint match does not necessarily mean that the illness is directly related to pistachios. Fingerprints in the database can be associated with other foods because it's such a large database. And so what they found was that only one patient who matched DNA fingerprinting reported consuming pistachios associated with the company was infected with salmonella in Connecticut. And the company stopped distribution of their 2008 crops and issued a recall in result of these findings. So this is the PulseNet from the CDC that the FDA used. This is just from the website, and this is the database and what the FDA used for conducting their investigation. So, for analyzing the situation, this is a picture of one of Seton's distribution and manufacturing sites, and this company has no known or current salmonella outbreaks since in their crops since 2009. And according to the company's official website, Seton's primary focus is to provide their customers with superior quality products. So it looks like they're sticking through with their focus, and they haven't had any outbreaks since then. And what salmonella is, it's an acute diarrheal disease that remains a public health threat to this day. It's a highly adaptable bacteria, and the demographics in which salmonella has high prevalence are in developing countries and low socioeconomic communities. And some of the easily targeted populations are among children, the elderly, and those with compromised immune systems. And some healthcare factors in regards to salmonella infection is the irrational and overuse of antibiotics that lead to antibiotic resistant bacteria in salmonella. So, some issues that we should prioritize regarding salmonella is combating salmonella antibiotic resistance in healthcare and agriculture, as well as the lack of sustainability, specifically in developing countries and those socioeconomic communities which need better living conditions. I listed this as a priority because these countries and communities have a lack of clean water, lack of sewage network, as in this picture in the right. They lack basic hygiene tools, and thus they get a lot of contaminated foods. And these are the areas that have such a high prevalence of salmonella cases. And so we should prioritize funding in these countries where there is the high prevalence of diarrheal diseases, and many parts of Africa and Asia where children under 5 are most affected and have high mortality rates. So every year, about 600,000 deaths around the world happen because of diarrheal diseases, including salmonella. Promoting safe food handling in individuals is another prioritization, and policy changes in food manufacturing and antibiotics is also an important issue to address. Analyzing alternatives, actions, and theoretical perspectives to combating salmonella is there's theoretical perspective, which a study was done and found that self-efficacy was consistently related to motivation in the four motivation variables within this theory, which helps change behaviors to promote safer food handling. Some solutions and alternative actions is limiting the use of antibiotics to avoid overuse in agricultural industries, educating patients and parents, and ensuring that they complete their full treatment as prescribed by their doctors, and only using antibiotics when absolutely necessary, as well as stricter laws on antibiotics. And this is a good poster of how we can stop antibiotic resistance. And some best alternatives, in my opinion, are policy changes and stricter laws, educating the public about safer food handling, increasing the frequency of testing procedures, and ensuring safety and the quality of food, providing aid to developing countries and low socioeconomic communities to establish clean water and sewage systems, hygiene, and efficient healthcare systems. So, my action plan would be, instead of detecting and correcting problems after they occur, my plan will focus on preventative strategies. So, developing stricter policies and regulations, increasing inspections, developing stricter regulations on the use of antibiotics, educating the public on antibiotic resistance and safe food handling, and clean water access, and implementing healthcare systems in high risk areas.